A group of civil society organizations representing women have written a letter to the president and government demanding urgent attention to water challenges in specific areas across the country. The C19 Women's Solidarity Forum put together complaints from 24 communities who have struggled for years to get a steady and reliable supply of clean water, with many sharing communal taps, facing frequent water disruptions, faulty and ailing infrastructure. To tell us more, we are now joined by Caroline Ntaopane, who is National Campaign Coordinator for the WoMin African Alliance. Good to have you, Caroline. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Thank you to the viewers.
So tell us a little bit more about the location of these communities and their water challenges.
So the location of these communities, they are communities from Mpumalanga, Limpopo, KZN, and also in Gauteng.
And go a little bit more into their challenges. What are they going through?
The challenges, Leanne, these are the challenges not arising now because of the COVID-19. So the communities, they've been experiencing challenges to access water beyond this period or beyond this crisis. So we have been working with communities across South Africa, especially in the KZN area, where we had in 2016 conducted a research that was led by women in the communities, understanding the struggles of water. So out of that research, the communities, they have sent a letter to Department of Water Affairs, and they have not yet get a reply. In 2017, also the community continues engaging with their government, but still no reply. Last year in April, 29 women in this area, in the communities in Somkele, they were arrested because they organized a protest asking for water. And when they were released from jail, they were addressed by the municipality. They were promised that there is a 17 million that will help to build water infrastructures in the community, but they didn't. So our work here is also help to identify or highlight the struggles of the women who are the ones who are bearing the heavy load or carrying the burden of finding alternative water sources. In some instances, the women, they walk for more than 2 kilometers to go and find water, and this problem is not really resolved. And now the communities are saying, we are worried, and because we have to follow some of the key requirements of washing our hands, the communities, they don't have luxuries of the social distancing or a tap to turn on to wash their hands, because they've been suffering and struggling for many years.
Yeah.
So
So this is really, I mean, as you're explaining, COVID-19 is not the reason behind these communities suffering. This has been a long-standing problem that you've been trying to address. But, I mean, let's now talk to the communities. Explain to us how they have become, I can imagine, only more vulnerable than others due to the virus. I mean, given the water problem, we've been told, wash our hands, make sure that everything is sanitized. And they can't do this. I mean, the Department of Human Settlements, Water and Sanitation promised to provide water tankers to areas with challenges. What attempts have been made by government since the outbreak of the virus?
In these areas that we have mentioned, Leanne, nothing has been happening. So yesterday I was talking to one of the women in the rural area, and I was asking, do you have water now? And she says, no. What we have been doing, Caroline, is to praying that it rains. So it was raining the past few weeks, and they had to line up the buckets of water so that they can get a little water. So the little water that they have now is from the rain. If it's not raining, they don't have water. And in some areas, like in Mpumalanga, the women, they've been walking this distance to find water, and they've been stopped by the police and the soldiers. They've been sent back to go home. So, and they had to wait until it's dark so that the police are not there. So this put the lives of the women at risk, the lives of the communities at risk, who are struggling to find the alternative water sources nearby their areas.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that can't be allowed. I mean, what has the response been from local councillors and municipalities to this?
So there is no response. they've been quiet. They are not communicating with the people. They are not even giving a simple information about what is COVID-19. So we are worried if the COVID-19 happens to penetrate into these areas, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with the lives of the women? What's going to happen with the lives of the children? Because some women, when they are too old to walk these long distances, they send children to go and find this water. So this is a violation of human rights. This is a hard labor that the women in the communities, they have to experience every time and every day. They push wheelbarrows carrying the babies on the back, even during the extreme weather conditions, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, and now we are approaching winter. Are the people going to still suffer like this? So we think that this is incorrect, especially in the days of the democratic society, to find people struggling for the basic service. And it is a constitutional right for people to have access to water, but we are not seeing that. And they've been silent. So no reasons at all have been provided to these communities. Why are they suffering to access this water? There's been these billions that they've been mentioned before the COVID-19, especially in the area of Somkele, that there's 17 million. But we don't know what happened. We don't know what went wrong and why there is no service delivery up until this time.
Yeah. I mean, Caroline, when we listen to the president, we listen to the health minister, we listen to the water minister, they're all making, promises and telling us that communities are being looked after and, that they're doing their best. But what you're telling us is 100% against what they are saying. What demands have you made to the president? Have you sent it to them? I know you're saying you're not getting any feedback, but this is worrying for us listening from afar.
So we have sent the letter, and then we've just received an email acknowledging the receipt of the email from Department of Water Affairs and also from the President's office. But when we call, because we've been doing a follow-up, when we call the communities to ask, is there any movement? Is there anything happening? So nothing is happening except in one community in the Eastern Cape where we know that they said by Tuesday they will have the water tankers be delivered to them. Yeah. But in all these areas that I have mentioned, that nothing, absolutely nothing is happening to help the communities to survive the stress of water access.
Yeah. Well, Caroline, we hope that this getting the message out there helps somewhat for these communities, and this has to be looked into, and urgently. Caroline Ntaopane, who is the national campaign coordinator for WoMin African Alliance, talking about their letter to the president asking him to address water challenges faced by 24 different communities around the country amid the coronavirus outbreak. So this is something that we will follow up on, and we're hoping that they will get a response from the president soon.